All right, buckle up, Buttercup, because we're diving into Big Two-Hearted River Part 2 from Ernest Hemingway's collection of short stories, and it's going to be a wild ride. Less about the war and more about catching dinner, this tale will make you feel like an outdoor survival expert, or at least like you've watched one on TV. In this thrilling sequel to Part 1, our hero Nick Adams is basically the Bear Grylls of early 20th century Michigan. He's on a solo fishing expedition, which is Hemingway for getting away from it all. And trust me, in the days before Wi-Fi and Starbucks, this was about as off the grid as you could get. Our man Nick is all about the details. Seriously, if Hemingway had $1 for every precise ritual Nick performs, he'd never have to write another word. Fishing isn't just a hobby, it's a surgical procedure. Nick's prepping his gear with the kind of attention a brain surgeon gives to his scalpels. He's got hooks, leaders, and, let's not forget, the almighty grasshoppers. Because in the world of fly fishing, these little hoppers are the equivalent of gold bullion. Nick's out here trying to catch trout, but honestly, it's about as easy as getting a decent Wi-Fi signal in the middle of the woods. He catches a small fry and throws it back because he's all about sustainable fishing before it was cool. Then, just when you think Nick's got this in the bag, he hooks Moby Trout. This fish is the big one, the legend, the one that will make all other fish stories sound like tall tales. But then, tragedy strikes. The line breaks, the fish escapes. Somewhere in the distance, a violin plays a sad tune. Nick takes this loss harder than a kid who dropped his ice cream. He's physically shaken, emotionally stirred. It's a moment that screams, life is fleeting, and so are large trout. But our guy Nick is not one to dwell. He smokes because apparently that's a valid coping mechanism and gets back to it. He catches more fish, which is good because otherwise this story could quickly turn into a man vs. wild The Hunger Games situation. Throughout his fishing escapades, Nick's basically in a dance with nature. Sometimes he leads, sometimes nature steps on his toes. It's a beautifully choreographed number, a tango with trout, if you will. The river, with its calming flow and therapeutic murmurs, is more than just a setting. It's a character in its own right, guiding Nick through his recovery from the unspeakable horrors of war. As the day winds down, Nick's content with his fishy friends, Milt and all, look it up, kids. He's not ready to tackle the metaphorical swamp of his psyche just yet. The swamp represents Nick's final boss battle, his Darth Vader, his Voldemort, his Joker. It's dark, daunting, and filled with the mega trout, or maybe just more emotional baggage, who's to say. Nick decides, maybe tomorrow, showcasing the classic human condition of procrastination. So what have we learned from Big Two-Hearted River Part 2? First, fishing is... If this video was helpful, please smash the like button and tell me what you would like to see in our next Bookly video in the comment section below. This has been another Bookly Crash Course.